do Adolf Hitler, Jeffrey Epstein, and who else? The answer rewrites 20th century history and will blow your mind.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Start in 2 minutes. Pull up a chair. Got your pens and paper. A lot to talk about. Good morning, Shiraz. What's up, Akil? What's up, Morgan? What's up, Raj? I'll start here shortly, guys. Get up some of my data points. Let everybody populate in. All right. How much time? About 30 or 45 seconds we'll start. What's up, Jess? What's going on? What's up, Akash? I haven't seen the response yet, Morgan. Ned's saying the war is a bigger issue. All right, guys, let's get started. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. What is it? August 5th. The market's trended pretty strongly later in the day, and gold into Asian. We'll go over all that. Today's let's talk about economic catalysts today. I know it's Instagram, you can't see it. That's fine. We had ADP employment came out this morning, lower than expected. 9:45 we have U.S. services PMI, and then ISM services at 10. They usually move the market, but it's not drastic. The NIMO 23. Here you go. Instagram, that way you can see it. It's starting to get happy. Remember, we talk about it when it's above 60. You know, you can look at this range that they've been in. I mean, for 4 months. Okay. We have to keep monitoring. It's a daily monitor. It's not intraday. It's just every day. See where it's at. That's a New York Stock Exchange McClellan oscillator. And then, look at the NAMO. 32. We get up above 50. We got to start finding mean reversion levels. Above 60, you're starting a trade plan short. And then you keep it out. This is the moving average convergence divergence down here. So, interestingly enough, if I taught you this, that crossover right there is a signal, right? That crossover occurred on that jump. Then you go look at the charts to see where it hit, what the catalysts were. Put your math together, and the VIX is probably low. Yeah, it's at 16. I mean, this thing could drop down to 14, which is just massive buying in the markets. No fear. Okay, so if you watch my weekend update on Saturdays, clearly we were planning on seeing, what was it, like 20, forget what it was in the rush, 2,600. We're looking for 26,000 in NQ and looking for about 7,000 in the S&P, and we just fell short of those numbers before we launched back up, right? I would still contend that we don't break 31,000 in the NAS unless this war is over. Right. So we'll see. I'm still skeptical of this run up. We have the war. There's no peace talks. There's talks of peace talks. There's no deal done. And the issue with the potential Japan carry trade and us buying Japanese yen isn't good. Because if the war rages on, oil spikes, that's bad against the dollar. But the DXY dropping, because the dollar strength dropping right now, is good for gold. That's why we're seeing gold run, guys. So right now, those will be at war. How about that with each other? Petrodollar rising, and then DXY dropping will decelerate gold. But for now, 4,000 is held, right? So when we first started talking about 4,000, I said that it was getting weaker. That was true, right? If we continue down the path of negative catalysts for gold, where the dollar was gaining strength, we would have broke that. But look at the shift to weaker dollar, stronger gold. Okay. So halfway through that chart, the thesis changed on gold, right? So what we're now seeing is buying, and overhead resistance is going to be about 4,400 for significant resistance. So let's get into our intraday charts, guys. If you have any questions, tickers, throw them in the comment box. You can see how strong this run was yesterday. Interestingly enough, if you join my war room, Justin Conopass comes on for about 10 minutes and gives us a macro overview. He called that bottom last Wednesday, and he went long, and he made massive amounts of money in his portfolio, the way he trades. So we had this massive run, and now we're just kind of, look, this is important to see. See the hard run, and now it's consolidating in that box. I think so when you see long consolidation, remember, it's consolidated rest for a further move up, or it's exhaustion. Right now, guys, I don't think it's exhaustion. One of the things too is it's really interesting. You got to dig into all these earnings reports. Like Amazon reported the greatest earnings that's ever been reported for them, but they're cooking the books, right? They're allowed to do that. So Google, so they invested a ton of money into Anthropic, right? Let's call it $100 billion. Then Anthropic comes back and buys their data center, and then they're allowed to put that in as profits. Think about that once. I hand you $100 bill. You turn around and hand it back to me, and I go, oh, I made $100. Did I make $100? So this AI bubble is really getting concerning if you start looking at the circular investment with each other, right? And that's exactly how the 2008 bubble happened, guys. So if you're underwater in any AI trade and you're realizing that you're going back to break even or even the money, man, be smart this time and reduce your stop in case that thing goes, right? All right. So right now, ES is box trapped for intraday. And all that macro information I gave you that I think the markets are still going to drop does not matter for intraday, because we're trading on such small time frames. We just trade what we see, right? But anyway, right now, it's going to be a buy off this all-time high anchored VWAP. Like, this is mean reversion level, but you're seeing it just pulled back and ran through. Like I said, I think this is consolidated rest for a further move up. Our expert called 7,800. It hit 7,800. It may go higher. But in this box, you have the duality of buys and sells. Right now, I think the buys have a greater percentage than sells. Tough when you're trapped in the box. And I saw a cool video the other day of a macro expert, guy's heavily revered. He has his own swing trading group. He doesn't day trade. He worked on Wall Street for 20 years. And you know what he talked about? He talked about why stops get hit. It's because of these boxes. He talked about these psych levels. I thought it was in it. So it validated why I put them on there. And so why do I put them on there? Because I actually have the same education, right? So that was pretty cool. Listen to another expert talking about whole dollar amount. So 0 amounts. It's not by accident, guys. You see buying and selling at these levels. So ES is getting a buy right in here. It's probably a second read long. Let me look. Yeah, but the algorithm won't call a second because it's still in the box, but right there. We'll see. I'm going to wait to the war room, see what happens. I'm worried about kind of a swift profit take and then a run. So I want to participate in the profit take and then buy it upward. RTY, next buy is VWAP touch, 5-minute cross around 30.53. The all-time high is your limit, guys. Right there, that gold line. 10 points above. I'm not saying the other ones have set all-time highs. There's no reason why RTY won't, but there will be selling there. Don't think for a minute that there's not profit takers there. So that forms its own box. If this continues up, you're going to have to drop down to the 1 minute and catch a 5-point trade around 55. I teach all this, guys, if you don't understand it, in my trading war room. NAS has not gone back to all-time highs yet. Now, we have breached the all-time high anchored VWAP, and we're 2-day close above it, so which is a buy signal on a swing trade that I put out in the weekend update. Now, where I was wrong on, I tell you how often I was right. I'm right, but where I was wrong on that is I felt this bounce was a trap, and the upper limitation was the all-time high anchored VWAP, or then it would, because there was decelerated volume. And then Nas said, hold my beer. So the upper limit's probably the previous high zone. So take it for what it's worth. I'll be honest with you guys. I did not see this strong of a bounce coming back. Not yet. Not yet. I felt we would hit lower levels, greater liquidity for buys to shoot up. So anyway, right now NQ is box trapped. I did have some traders take shorts in here, did a great job. You can see how I had traders short here and I had traders short here. Message in our group that they made a lot of profit. And we made a lot of profit yesterday, guys, on this run. In my matrix trading session, I called the buy, and then it was one of my war rooms yesterday. Either we do the VIP war room and we also do the matrix. Called this buy, and normally we would have hunted like 35 to 40 points. I said, guys, trail it. I got 200. One guy got 600 points on it. Holy shit. Can you imagine 600 points on leverage? That is a massive payday. All for a low price of being in my VIP program, right? YM, all-time highs, 54,000. Next buy is probably off this anchored VWAP into the cross. And then gold, next buy is maybe a second read. The next primary read is around 42.50. We'll watch the underlier. And then oil, it's just in torsion. So good. I wanted to get through that really quick. So I can answer you guys' questions. Let's see here. Let's see what you got. YouTube. Good morning, guys. Saying yes, it's only a secondary if you're within the threshold of the primary, right? So if you're using the matrix, when this is, like, say you're going to go long, when this is red and this is green, you're within the threshold. And then when that turns, you know. But if this turns green and this is still red, it's not a secondary read. It will front run the primary read. So it's an indicator that it's potentially going to change, but it's not. You want those to be aligned. 1 hour, 5 minute, 1 minute. Okay. Let's see what you got. Instagram. Scroll up, see what questions you guys have. And a question sticker, throw them in there. What would be a good entry for gold right now? I think on a swing trade, a greater discount into 4,200 right now. If we pull back to 4150, we've got the data point VWAPs, but intraday or wider day might be 42. For a scalp, we're looking at, this 45 to 45, 42.45 to 42.50 right here. It depends on what fractal you're trading it on. But there should be, with this movement, a lot of support right there. All right. And then you just protect yourself. Do not buy and hold. Put your stop loss right there. And then if it crashes, you buy it lower. And then once you make your money, you net out your result. Maybe you lost $1,000 on this trade, and then you made $5 on the next one. So you net 4,000, guys. That's how trading works. Had it happen last week. We had a couple days that were absolute shit. A couple calls went south on us right against tweets. Great calls. But because then we came back the next 2 days and went undefeated. We were like 8 for 8. Right? Kind of what we're up against this week. We've had some meh, right? I think our win rate's a little lower, but remember, that's how it goes, right? I'm not changing my strategy because I took a couple losses. And if you're not able to take losses to stick around for the wins, you're going to struggle trading, guys. I don't like taking losses either, but I do realize it's part of the overall gain because to maintain that discipline. Let's see here. Let's see. Save Puro. Who's guessing? You talking about me? ES swing to 8,000. You laugh, Shiraz, but, Trumponomics, man. Trumponomics. Am I bullish or bearish for the NAS 100? So, on the overview, right now, this is the second day close above above that all-time high anchored VWAP. It's bullish, but I think that it's only bullish into this resistance zone. So if you followed my weekend update, I called the test of when prices were up here, I called the test of this level, which is the runs anchored VWAP. And then I predicted that we should see 26,000, right? And we hit as low as, we did hit 26,000. So I was only 900 points off in the greater move. So that, and then it reversed. Where I was wrong is I felt this bounce at the time being on lower volume, and you can see it's still lower volume. The upper limit would be the all-time high anchored VWAP. Well, clearly, Naz said, hold my beer, I'm running up. But I think this red box still exists. As long as the war is raging. Now, if we get a peace deal, you can kiss that box goodbye. We don't have one. So I think this box is the current resistance. So we'll see. I mean, if you're buying here, you have less ability to make profit, I believe. You could foster it, though, and hope that the peace deal comes in the middle of your trade. So, good question. My VWAP is the daily VWAP. Yeah, so it's anchored to the open, not the session. Hunter. Ticker ACM. We've never charted this one. Let's see. Go all the way out. Ooh, it's selling off. Let's set an anchored VWAP right there for the IPO. And then let's find the all-time high. It looks like it was up there. Yeah. So what is that? No, back in November. So let's go into the daily to get more accurate. And then what you do is you scroll back to November. There it is. Right there's the all-time high. So I found it. And then let's make that one red. When I do analysis for funds, I do a lot more than this. But when I'm doing it quick, I start with VWAPs. Where's the white line? Oh, it's below us. I don't know much about this thesis, but this one's downtrodden. You see, we have the death cross here. So that's the selling period. The 50 through the 200. Actually, that occurred higher. That's the all-time high anchored VWAP. Stand by. It's right here. There's the death cross. If I don't know what your thesis is, but if you believe that this rebounds, you got earnings coming up, so be careful. The way you trade plan around it is near-term structure. You can buy in here, and you have a defined stop loss. You put it right below the swing. Then I like targeting the all-time high anchored VWAP. But look, that risk-reward ratio is very tight. It's not really good for a swing trade. So you could say, well, I need to better my risk-reward, so you need to tighten your stop loss, right? Or increase your TP. So you could go there or even here. I don't know. You're welcome to my free Discord and ask me for a full chart, or if you have any other questions, you can ask. Right now, it's pretty beat down. You'd have to Warren Buffett buy that, mean fundamentally. Yeah, I'm still in my S triple Q short, right? So I'm here. I've actually got a stop loss. The approximate equivalent price if the NAS sets a new all-time high. Right. But look, so what happens with this trade, guys? This was a hedge. So I'll lose money on this, but with everything else rising, what am I gaining in my long-term holds? Right. They're going up. So it's like a seesaw. Right. So this was an insurance policy against the other ones dropping, but now they're doing the opposite. So I'll have to pay for the insurance policy, and I'll look at it again. Let's see. Are metals possibly breaking out? Yep, we could see gold, big resistance at 4,400. DXY is down, so gold is up. Oil will also affect that. If oil drops, gold will accelerate more. But if DXY is down, but oil's up, it'll decelerate gold with an upward trend. So guys, the things I do here is I want you to look at Instagram there. Alpha Beta Report just posted. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and follow, because Crypto John is live for 30 minutes from 11 a.m. to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, doing charts like I do, answering questions, talking about a lot of things. He's a research analyst like I am, and most times I join him, but I'm simply his helper. It's his chat. It's very good. We're averaging a good number, 25 to 40 people, so it's really good. I'm here every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have my free Discord. Go over to The Student Alpha. You're on Student Alpha right now. Go over to The Student Alpha. Like, subscribe, and follow. That's my backup account in case Meta does something with this one. I'm out of here, guys. Time to go trade with my folks. Come trade with us for a 7-day free trial. Have a good one, guys.